I don't know a better way to describe what a right is other than what happened to my son. So if you've heard what's happened to my son, you're going to hear it again right now. If you don't want to hear it, then I'm sorry. I don't know what else to say. Somebody just left a comment saying that they were a constitutionalist, but then they went in to add that they're not a criminal so they can own firearms or whatever. So people still are not getting it. So first of all, what is a right? A right is within me. It is mine. It's not something physical. It's not, the right to keep and bear arms isn't the firearm. For example, let's say I had the natural right to keep and bear tape measures. Now, standing here with no tape measure on me, I have the right to keep and bear tape measures. I'm now exercising my right to keep and bear tape measures. I have the right to keep and bear tape measures because I put it down. I pick it up. I'm now exercising my right to keep and bear tape measures. So, on 11/23/19, my 20-year-old son, my oldest son, was shot and killed in a double homicide. The first guy was shot in his chest. He had enough time to turn around, open up the front door, and take a step, and he fell to his death. He died right there on the spot. My son, when that happened, jumped up to start beating the shit out of the shooter, which shows, if my son was legally allowed to have his firearm on him, it would have turned out different, but it's over now. There's no other video. But my son started beating the shit out of the guy. During the fight, the guy shot my son. Drug my son through the house like he was a dog by his ankles. Out to the back porch. At some point, pulled my son's pockets out. Took whatever was in his pockets and left him there to die. The neighbor called the paramedics, the 911 or whatever. They showed up and he was still conscious when they got there, and he died in transport on the way to the hospital. The paramedic place is just right down the road from where he was killed, so they got there pretty quick, I guess. Anyway, the man that killed my son is sitting in jail right now. In jail, he still has the right to keep and bear arms. There's going to be the people that says, no, he's in jail, he don't have no rights. Really? So he can't exercise the religion he wants to. He can't practice his religion. They can quarter troops in his home outside the jail. They can search his home outside the jail without a warrant. He doesn't have the right to remain silent. He doesn't have the right to a jury. He doesn't have the right to an attorney. Yes, he has all those rights still. Just because he goes to jail doesn't mean he loses them. That you believe in some shit that's not true, that government's led you to believe. So in jail, we allow government to prosecute criminals through the Fifth Amendment. No person shall be deprived of life, liberty, or property without due process of law. In jail, he still has the right to keep and bear arms. What he doesn't have is the liberty to utilize his property. I repeat, no person shall be deprived of life, liberty, or property without due process of law. It doesn't say rights, because rights cannot be legislated away or taken. Because if they could be, they wouldn't be rights. They would be privileges. Now, if he is ever released, if he's found guilty in February and they give him some however much time to do to pay his debt to society, when he owes a debt to my son, not to society, another video, and he is ever released, he will then be free to take the liberty to utilize his property and exercising his right to keep and bear arms. Now, you have two options, and two options only here. Number one, you accept what I say as fact. Rights cannot be taken from nobody. Government doesn't have that authority, and any law against firearms or people owning firearms, no matter what their background is unconstitutional and void. That's the one I would take if I was you. Or you say the government does have authority to legislate rights away, and then by doing so, you're saying that you only have privileges that can and will be taken away when government decides so. There's your two options. There's no other options. You can't say, well, I have the right, but government said, oh, wait. You can't do that. A, you agree that all people have natural rights that cannot be taken by government. Now, people can choose not to exercise their rights, and a lot of people do through fear of their government, which is stupid, but But those laws only exist because of the people that don't know what a right is. So again, you either agree with me and all people have rights that cannot be infringed upon by government, or government has complete authority over us and we are slaves and they allow us privileges. You choose.